everyone. Welcome tonight for the Friday Fox Show, Season 2, Episode 7 with Cinder. Hi, Cinder. Welcome. Thank you so much for accepting being here tonight. How are you doing today, Cinder?
I'm actually excited for this. I'm actually been excited for this for it's been like a month that we planned this now, right?
It's been way more than a month. I sent you a message November 11.
Okay.
That's
so
like
2 months almost.
Yeah, 2 months. How are you doing today?
But no, I'm doing great. It's been a nice, relaxing day. It's been kind of stressful the last week or so with real life stuff, but It's been kind of nice to unwind over the last 24 to 48 hours. So, and I was like I said, I've been looking forward to this. I haven't been in VR in like 2 months. It's been forever since I've actually gotten in VR.
I'm happy you're here with me right now, and we're gonna relax even more. We're gonna spend around 1 hour and a half just talking, answering the question of the Friday Fox Show. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in the audience that want to know more about you, Cinder. I mean, you talk a lot about what you do in your streams, but maybe
how much do they want to know? How much do they want to know?
Maybe we're gonna go even deeper today. We don't know. So sit back, relax, guys, and enjoy the Friday Fox Show. All right. So I'm gonna start with the basic first question, which is the same question as I ask all the guests of the Friday Fox Show. It is very simple, but it tells a lot because we are all part of the furry community, and it's really funny to learn about all the lore, the story, like how someone during the fandom, how they discovered the community. So what was your story? How did you discover the fandom? How did you join the furry fandoms in there?
Man, so I'm going to date myself here because I've probably been a furry longer than some of your viewers are alive.
Oh my God.
I found it in like 2005, so 18 years ago, almost 20 years ago I found it. So I know I'm a little bit of a boomer, okay, I get it. Man, my first exposure to it would have been, God, okay. Do you remember an old machinima, the original Red versus Blue? Did anybody ever? Did you ever see that? The original Red versus Blue machinima on it was online somewhere. I think it was on Rooster Teeth, right? And I was like obsessed with it as a kid in like middle school. I loved it, right?
Yeah.
And of course, back then you had form boards, right? Which they exist, but they're not like what they used to be, right? And I remember I was like on the forums of this Red versus Blue forum talking about the show. And I remember seeing, if you remember on forum boards, people had like the little, what do you call it? Like the signatures underneath their posts. And you could have like little tiles and things that you could click on. And someone had one for a comic called Two Kinds, which is, I believe it's still going on.
It's still going on, yeah.
Still going on. And I remember I clicked on it because it looked interesting, and like boom, here was this fully fleshed out comic with like hundreds of pages, and I just like binged it over the course of like 3 months.
Oh my God.
I just sat there and I remember sitting on like my parents' computer reading this webcomic, and I was just enthralled with it. That was like my first exposure to it because it was kind of like furry light. That's how I found DeviantArt, which back in the heyday of DeviantArt, when it was pretty good. Fast forward like a year or two later, a lot of people some type of movie or some type of media that was kind of like their entrance into the fandom, right? Think of like Lion King, probably Zootopia most recently for some of the newer generation.
In 2016.
For me, it was Happy Feet, the Dancing Penguin movie from 2006.
All right.
Of all things. I remember watching it as like a freshman in high school, and I was like, oh my God, this hits all the right buttons. And then from there, the forums again, right? Back onto the forum boards, and then boom, from there that was the floodgates that opened. So it would have been like 2005, 2006
all right.
How I found it. And here I am now, almost 20 years later, still doing it.
That's amazing. That's crazy. I mean, I loved Happy Feet. I remember. I mean, I was like 6 years old in 2005, so I didn't know about all the furry stuff. But I'm sorry, Cinder. Okay, forget what I said. Forget what I said. But yeah, that's so cool. So like when you discovered Two Kinds, you did you waited until like 2 years later to look at the movie Happy Feet to really get into it.
I kind of had kind of like consumed some of the media related to Two Kinds, right?
Yeah.
And like was consuming furry art in that sense, but I didn't really connect the dots, right? I was like, oh, I like this stuff. This is kind of neat, right? But I still didn't really know like what a furry was. I hadn't
All
really been
right.
exposed to like true furry stuff. It wasn't until later when I got into the Happy Feet stuff that it was like, oh, furries.
Happy
How
Feet
about
stuff.
that? Oh, look, fur affinity. How about that? And then boom, done.
All right. So you said DeviantArt just after Two Kinds, but was it just to read Two Kind that you was Two Kinds on DeviantArt at the beginning, or was it
There
like
was a lot of art. There was a lot of art of of
of
that webcomic
all right.
on DeviantArt at the time. At least when you searched for it, it was there.
All right. Okay, that's great. What I love about this question is that everyone has like a different story. I mean, the main story is always like on the internet because, well, it's really rare when someone discovers the fandom. It already happened. I think Rono that I interviewed like a few weeks back discovered the fandom with like just seeing Anthrocon there, and it was pretty nice to hear. But it's always super funny to hear different stories. And so after Happy Feet, discovering forums for Affinity, how did you kind of make your persona? Were you a dog at the beginning? Was it always the blue dog
No,
that we know?
I was
Well,
not a
how did
dog.
it started?
Not a dog at the beginning. My first character was a penguin.
Oh
And
yeah,
it would
it makes
track, right?
sense.
It would
Yeah.
track. God, somewhere deep down in my hard drive, I can probably find some artwork of him.
Oh my god,
But
that's so
I'm not going to
cool.
go looking for it. You never want to dredge up some of those memories, right? No, so originally I was originally a penguin, and then from there I was like, you know what, it's a little too like esoteric, right? Like a penguin, right? I knew like one or
Mhm.
two other people who were penguins, right? Became a wolf after that because why else, right?
Yeah.
And then from there I was like, you know what? I'll be a border collie. I'm I like to run around. I'm kind of energetic and it just
Yeah.
kind of fit, right? I'm a working dog, right?
Dog vibes.
And when did I create him? It would have been 2009, I think, 2010 that I came up with the current iteration of Cinder, which has not changed since then.
That's amazing. So penguin because of Happy Feet, and then a wolf, and then was it a blue wolf? Was it like Cinder but
It
wolf?
was. So the colors were the same. So the
All
colors
right.
the penguin is completely separate. Ignore him.
Yeah, I
It's a
will.
travesty. We don't talk about him anymore. It's gone
Poor
forever
penguin.
to the ether of the internet, right? My first wolf character was these colors, right? It was
Yeah.
the light blue and the white with the green eyes. And then I just basically took him and then was like, oh, let's just flop the ears and make him a dog, and boom, Cinder.
Amazing. So you got your persona, the floppy dog persona in 2009, and did you knew already if you wanted a fursuit? How did you discover fursuit? Was it like at the right beginning, or was it way later after like finding your current persona, or how was it for you?
So I always, you always, whenever you join the fandom, you want one, right? You see the fursuits and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's like amazing. And if you could believe, back in 2010, 2011, fursuits were a little bit more scarce than they are now. So like seeing a fursuit was kind of a big deal, right? Because
Alright.
there are only so many of them out in the world. But it always seemed like something that was kind of unobtainable, right? I was in college. I was still, you're a poor college student, can't really afford anything like that, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until after college. Oh God, when would it have been? I think it was MFF 2013. It was either
Yeah.
MFF 2013 or MFF 2014. A friend of mine let me try on their suit for the first time, and I don't know if you've ever seen Stripes, the zebra. He usually wears like a referee jersey. It's
Nah.
a friend of mine from Canada who owns the suit.
All right.
I wore him once at MFF, let's just say 2014, whenever it was, and just fell in love with it. Completely just took to the character, just had a blast doing it, right? And then from there, I was like, I need to get one of these. I actually need to get one of these suits.
It's crazy. It's always the
There's
same
a story here. So if you could believe it,
Yeah.
my Cinder suit was not my first suit. I actually owned a suit for about 2 days
Oh.
before I got for about maybe about a year before I got Cinder. I actually was in possession of a suit that I had bought for 2 days before
2
I
days?
returned it to them because it was so poorly made
Oh my
that it was
god.
unwearable. And I had to return it back to them and basically force them into giving me a full refund because what I paid for it and what they gave me was not even close. So that's another character of mine that is now also shoved into the trash can
All
of
right.
never being seen again. But Cinder was technically my second suit.
All right. It's funny because, like, we're gonna talk about convention a little bit after, but like, usually, people when that was exactly the same for me. Where at the beginning I didn't like fursuit. I was like, yeah, I don't want that. What is this? This is weird. And then I went to a convention, and then I had a friend. I was like, oh yeah, just try my fursuit head. And then I was like, I need one. It's so funny. It's always the same. It's always the same. So that's what I say to the people in the audience. I watched the Friday Fox show multiple times. I told them, if you go to a convention, be careful because trying a fursuit is expensive. Because after
Very
that,
expensive.
you just want to buy one. Yeah, I mean it's great. That proves that having a fursuit actually, like, you just how I see it is that you can free yourself a bit more from like a lot of stuff and act differently, like just be a silly fox in my case, a silly dog in your case. That's great.
And I like the character acting part of it, right?
Yeah.
Where when I put on Cinder, right, I am playing the character of Cinder, right? So like the way I'm talking now, the way I'm acting now, not necessarily how I am when I'm in suit, right? When I'm in
Yeah.
suit, you kind of like the suit becomes kind of larger than life, and you kind of adopt the character. And there's a nice little bit of escapism in that because you can kind of detach from the real world for a minute and
exactly.
just focus on being this fun, excitable dog who is kind of a brat but always gets what he
Yeah.
wants because he's cute, and everyone always gives cute
Yeah.
things to cute dogs, right?
That's true.
It's fun. It's
That's
exciting.
exactly true. It's crazy that I'm interviewing you right now because, well, you have a fursuit by Lacey suit as well. And when I commissioned my suit, the example I gave was your suit. I was like, I want the same expression as
Aw.
Cinder because it looks amazing. I think you were. I mean, with my boyfriend, you have been a big a decision. You made me take the decision of going with Lacey. Like that. That's
They do
on
good
you.
work. My
Yeah.
suit is now 7 years old, and he
Yeah.
still is holding up very well.
Yeah,
So-
true. I can't believe mine is like 4 years old this year. I can't believe it. This goes so quickly. Oh my god! I just
It
realized that.
does.
Yeah, but yeah, very high quality. It's a bit sad that now you cannot really commission them anymore, and that, well, they have so much delay and stuff. But great maker. The quality of the suits for Shibaisi are like always top, which is great. So how long after commissioning that first suit did you wait to commission Lacey? And how was it to commission your suit back in the days? Because right now, if you want to commission a suit, it's not a fun experience. It's like you have to
Right.
really fight for it. You have to apply at like 10 makers and pray to get accepted to one. How was it back in the days? Like 2010, that's what you said?
Well, so I got Cinder in 2000 and it was FWA 2017 was when I actually
Okay.
received the suit itself, right? The owl. So the other character that I had, the suit that I had before, was an owl character. I got
Okay.
him the year previous in like, God, when would it have been? I think I received that character in like December of 20. No, yeah, it would have been December of 2016. I got
Alright.
the owl character, got rid of it, and then maybe I got my time frame wrong. Either way, commissioning Lacey back then. So I was in a bit of a fortunate situation. My ex at the time was very close friends with Lacey, so we were
Alright.
able to put in we both got suits at the same time.
Yeah.
So we were able to kind of put in like a bulk order with her. So
Alright.
it kind of helped bypass some of the process a little bit. Still took about a year though for the finished product.
All right. Yeah, it's like the kind of like, I mean, for those makers that are like super popular within the fandom, then the time you wait is like you can wait I waited 2 years, but you could wait way more sometimes for with other makers. But yeah, well, that's still different than back in the days in like 2015 when all those makers they started being like, with the Twitter stuff. Twitter started being more and more in the fandom, and a lot of people were seeing those suits and they were like, "Oh my god, I love this maker!" And then that's how it kind of started with all the American makers, also a few makers in Europe that got very popular at that time. And now it's great because in the fandom we actually have a lot of fursuit makers. Like there is a lot of different styles. There's a lot of different makers that you can commission with different times of wait. You can get a fursuit super quickly right now if you buy a pre-made. As a matter of fact, if you buy a pre-made, you can get a suit
It's
pretty
true.
quickly. Yeah,
But then you kind of lose out on some of the personal aspect of it, right? If you're buying
true.
a pre-made, because you're buying something that you didn't come up with yourself. But for some people, that's fine. They can adopt to any
Yeah.
character that they get, right?
Imagine like you don't have a persona, but you're a furry. You go to a dealer's den and you flash on a suit. You're like, oh my god, this is so me. Then you just buy the suit and you make it your character, and then it works like that. But I've seen it happen already, so it's really cool when it does that. But yeah, I don't think a lot of stuff changed, but definitely I think that the choices of Fursuit Maker was way smaller back in the days. Like there was not as many.
Yeah. I mean, it was like Latin Vixen. You had Lacey. You
Made
had
for you.
What is it? Sunny Valley Creations. I
Yeah.
really wanted a suit from Sunny Valley. Their suits were awesome.
Yeah.
You had DHC before they got canceled.
Yeah.
And I think like Lemon Brat was around then too.
One for All
You
was
really
here
only
as well.
had like a handful.
Yeah.
One for All, yeah. You only
But
really
still
had a
back in
handful.
the days. It was
You
like
got
very
so many.
long.
You can pick small suit makers. You can pick, there's hundreds to pick from. You just got to find the right one.
It's making it easier and easier to get Fursuit Crush now. Like so easy.
It's true. That is very true.
That is
very true.
All right. Well, we just talk about dealers. That's crazy because I think we're going to talk about conventions now. It's a great way to just switch subjects. Amazing. That's as smooth as we've been right now. So, yeah, you said you were to a convention, you tried your suit. Was that convention your first convention? Did you get to try a suit on your first convention?
That was not my
it for
first
you?
convention.
What was it then? How was your experience?
My first ever convention. When was my first ever convention? The first furry con I ever went to, I didn't stay the night there, but the first one I ever went to would have been like MFF. I think it was 2008, 2009. It was before they were in the Hyatt Regency. So they were at a different hotel than they are now because they've been at the Regency since I think pre-2010. But I remember going to there for like a day or two. I think it was like a day. Me and my friends went for a day and spent time there kind of walking around. The first furry con that I actually like spent the night over with and stayed in the hotel and everything would have been, it was Memphis Fur Meet, so MFM 2010.
Yeah.
So I was a freshman in college and I was like, the world is my oyster, right? I'm free from parental advisory, right? I can do whatever. So me and my friends drove from middle of nowhere, Illinois, down to Memphis. First time I'd ever been in Memphis before, and went to Memphis Fur Meet, and it was an amazing experience just to be around all of those people, to be around the fursuits, to be around the artists, and just be like immersed in it, and just you're just there, right? It was a very good experience. It was also the first time I ever got drunk ever in my life. Was at my first furry con. I'd never drank before then, and as a 21-year-old, as a 21-year-old,
yeah, 21,
right?
We're in Switzerland right now.
Drunk, and I still.
So it's 18 in Switzerland. You can say you were less than 20.
That's true.
Yeah, this is actually Switzerland.
Listen,
here behind us. So
everybody knows the drinking age in college is 18, anyways. So anyways. I still distinctly remember walking down a hallway, first time ever being drunk in the room, and like everything was just spinning. And I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm having so much fun, right? And forever the trajectory of my life has been changed because of that.
All right. How was the convention overall? I mean, you said already you loved being around.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, looking back on it, it was okay. Right? It's a smaller convention. You're in Memphis. The food was amazing because it's Memphis. You get to go eat barbecue and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But the actual convention itself, the hotel that it was in retrospect, it was a little dungy. But as a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed 18-year-old who's experiencing the world for the first time, it was amazing.
All right, that's so funny. That's great. That's so cute. Uh, that's great. So that was the first conversion for you. What would you say to someone that like joined the fandom now and they want to attend the first convention? What would you say is like the basic stuff that they need to get ready before attending a convention? Like the first thing. Like what do we do when we join a convention for the first time?
First of all, shower regularly.
Yes,
because you're gonna be gross. I cannot emphasize. I'm looking right at the camera for this one. Shower. You stink. We can all smell you. Take a damn shower. Okay, that's an easy one.
True.
But the thing that I've learned. So I've lost track of how many I've been to at this point. The thing that I've learned the most is don't have so many hard set plans. Kind of be fluid with what you can and can't do, with what you're gonna do, right? Because you might tell somebody, "Hey, let's do dinner Thursday night," and the other person's like, "Okay, let's do it." And the next thing you know, it's Thursday night, and you're being dragged away with a group to do something else, and you're just gonna have to be fluid with your plans. I've tried it before. I've tried going to a convention and planning everything out, and none of it ever worked. So now when I go to conventions, I'm just like, "Here's my core group of people that I want to hang out with." And whatever happens, happens. If you're not there for dinner, you're not there for dinner. If you're not there when we go to do something, so be it. Just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
And just don't be so hard on set plans because they will inevitably fall through.
I always say here, the plan is no plan. Like I've said that with everyone that talked about convention. We always sum up the experience as the plan is no plan. Don't try to plan stuff at conventions. This is the wrong stuff to do. You just vibe. Yeah, because if you plan stuff and you don't do them, then you're gonna feel bad. So don't plan anything. Just vibe. Just vibe with everyone. That's the thing.
And people understand. Like they understand that if you got busy, at least they should. If they don't understand and they get mad at you, then reconsider your friendship with them. But people understand, like, hey, it's going to get busy. You're going to get pulled into things, right? Oh, I thought we were going to hang out this weekend. Sorry, it just didn't happen, right? What are you going to do about it, right? It's hard to get everything in all at once. Also, wear really good shoes. That's my other piece of advice. Wear good shoes. Your back will thank you. Even if you're 18 or 19, wear good shoes. Good running shoes, good supportive shoes, because you're going to be walking more than you probably have in a long time. Wear good shoes. That's my other piece of advice.
That's amazing. Actually, first time we get this advice, but I agree with this. That's 100% true. Good shoes are the most important because you end up walking. Like, I didn't have a watch that was tracking how much I was walking before at a convention. And like last convention I did, I walked like 20 kilometers in one day. I was like, damn, what is it? How did I do that? It was like your friends, you walk, you go eat somewhere, you don't take transport, you just walk, and then you add up kilometers also. Like, that's crazy. Yep. And I was like, without counting even in suit, because I removed the thing with what I was into. Like, that's crazy. I remember the pain I was feeling.
It really, really adds up.
Yeah. When you go to bed, I was feeling pain in my feet. So I was like, damn, what did I do today? I just walked. But no, that's more than just walking. It's like you go around the whole day from 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. if you go to bed at 4 a.m. So yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that one.
Learn from our mistakes. Your back will thank you because you know that hotel bed is not going to be supportive on your back. That shit's going to hurt. Your back will thank you. Your legs will thank you. Buy some good shoes. Anything, I was always taught, anything that separates you from the ground, you should invest money in. Chairs, bed, shoes, tires for your car. Anything that connects you to the ground, you should invest money in because it'll save you a lot of pain in the future.
I could not say it better. Cinder, you're saying everything. There's also something that, I mean, you said it at the beginning, so maybe you know that already. And I would not be surprised if you know it already. Do you know the 6-to-1 rules at convention?
Of course.
I'm pretty sure you know it, yeah.
6 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, 1 shower.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Minimum.
Yeah, that's a minimum. Yeah.
Ideally, some of you should probably be showering like 4 times a day.
Yes.
If you suit, you should be showering more often
Oh my
because you're
God.
gonna get sweaty and gross. You're gonna get sweaty and gross.
Cinder be roasting chat right now. But that's true. I
Listen,
agree.
I don't want to smell it. I don't want
I
to smell
agree.
it.
Yeah.
It's gross.
But Cinder, you know, I have some tolerance when it's the end of the convention. When it's the beginning, no tolerance. When the first day and you stink, I'm like, what the heck? But in Europe, the conventions are like one whole week. So at the end of the week, when I hug a fursuiter and it smells a little bit, I'm like, yeah, they have been probably shooting every day and they cannot clean their suit at the conventions. I'm a little bit more tolerant when it's the last day. I'm like, all right. Because also, like, I'm self-conscious about how I smell in suit. So I'm like, I always put 1,000 of my suit, but sometimes it's just, you know, you suit too much and you sweat a lot. So at the end of the
Suits
convention,
get a
tolerance.
little bit of a pass. They get a little bit of a pass
No.
because it does get pretty rank after a weekend of wear. No matter
Yeah.
how much fursuit care you do, it's gonna smell a little funky by like Sunday
Yes.
morning or Sunday afternoon, right?
True.
But
If you're not
if you're walking
fursuiting,
around, I shouldn't
Yeah.
be able to smell you. If you're not fursuiting, I shouldn't be able to smell you.
the worst is like when you're in suit
Unless
and
you're
you
wearing
smell
something
someone.
nice, in which case I will.
Oh yeah, this year, cologne. I mean, I accept. I'm like, wow, you smell so nice. I will tell to you if I hug you and you smell nice, you will get a compliment. So please smell nice. And when I hug you, I'm like, oh my God, you smell so nice. That's how to make people shower more. Just compliment them. We should start doing that. Whenever someone smells nice, you're like, oh my God, you smell nice today. Actually, great
If
idea.
they smell bad, we should shame them.
You're like, what the heck? Go take a shower, you right now. Oh
They're
my
like,
God.
Oh, God, you stink, dude. And people shouldn't get mad at us for it. They
Yeah,
shouldn't get mad
true.
at us. You should, if I smelled bad, I would hope that my friends would tell me
same.
that I smelled bad.
Oh my God.
I would
Same.
hope that they would tell me, Cinder, you smell like shit, go shower. I'd be like, cool, thanks. I'll go do it right now. I'll go clean up.
Same. I think my friend would tell me though. I know them. I think they would tell me. The friends I hang out at convention, they would tell me, it'll be, oh, you fucking stinks off. Go take a shower. All right. Thank you for answering those questions about the convention. I'm just saying, like, if I miss something, like, I am so in autopilot. I'm not even reading the questions. I've done that so many times. I love it. I know everything I have to say. This is great. But I think I talked about everything for conventions. We talked a little bit of fursuits as well. Yeah, that's great. So now we're going to talk about content creation and streaming because you're a streamer, Cinder, right? You're also a streamer. Wow, we're
I
live on
pretend to
Twitch.
be, at least. I pretend to be.
Nah, you're
I
a great
pretend to be.
streamer.
I'm just kind of like half-assing it, just kind of figuring out as I go. It's only been 4 years, and I'm still just kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but it seems to be working. So
You're a great streamer, Cinder. Oh my God. It's so funny to watch your streams. I wish the time zones were not that bad that I could watch your stream every time you're streaming, but usually it's like 4 a.m. for me. So I mean, when I don't sleep, I watch it, but it's pretty rare, sadly. So the first question I ask is a bit of the same as like joining the fandom. It's like, what made you press the live button for the first time? How did you started doing that, Cinder?
So I found furry Twitch in like it was like the end of 2018, going into 2019 is when I found furry Twitch. Right, I've been on Twitch.
Yeah.
I've been watching Twitch since like 2012, 2013. I used to watch like GDQ and a couple of the other like OG streamers. But I remember the first streamer I saw was Keatlock, the Fox. Right.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing his stream and I was like, oh my God, like furry VTubing. That was like the old school, like Caribou VTubing models. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then from there, I found like Diffuse and Whiskey and Laughin and like a couple other people. I was like, holy crap, there's like a whole community of Twitch streamers, right? Like, this is awesome. That would have been like summer, like early 2019, going into like summer 2019. I just kind of was like lurking there for a while, kind of watching. And eventually, I think it was Diffuse Moose, who was like, Cinder, why don't you try streaming? And I was like, what? Why would I ever do that? Because I had made some like fursuit content videos. I was doing like little like PSA type videos with my fursuit about like medical stuff. Diffuse was like, you should just try streaming. And I was like, no, oh, maybe not. And then what I realized is with my job, I usually have more days off than I have to work.
Yeah.
And I was finding that on my days off, I was like, well, I don't really know what to do with my time. And I was like, why don't I just try streaming? And that would have been February of 2020, I think, right before
All
the
right.
pandemic started. Was the first time I streamed, and then like that was it. Here we are 4 years later, still doing it somehow, still chugging along.
What was it at the beginning, though?
In my like, what was it?
Yeah. What did you do for the first stream? What was it? Games? Talking about medical stuff?
I played Satisfactory. Of all games, I played
Oh.
Satisfactory because at the time, my friends and I were obsessed with Satisfactory.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess I'll play Satisfactory on stream. And I played that for a couple streams, and then I got my original 2D. Not VC Face. What's the other one? What was the other one
VTuber.
before VC Face?
The PNG
no, not
tuber.
VTubers. Even before the
PNG tuber?
no, before that. Oh God, what the hell was it? It was
Face Rig. I think it was Face Rig something.
Face Rig.
Yeah.
Face Rig.
Face Rig, yeah.
It was Face Rig. I had my original 2D Face Rig model that Ozep made for me, and the first game after Satisfactory that I played was Surgeon Simulator. That silly game from like the early 2010s
Oh,
on Steam.
yeah, I remember.
And I had so much fun playing it. I was like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm committing to this.
So you were doing your job, but on stream at the same time.
It's they take a lot of liberties with that game in terms of what Surgeon is like.
Oh, really?
Let's just say,
I thought they were doing
we
like
don't
that.
take hammers and crack open chests with massive hammers, right?
All right.
I kind of like from there, I think for about 4 to 5 months, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my stream. I was just kind of in like this nebulous like void of what do I do. Eventually, I realized that I've always had a kind of a love of puzzle games. So I was like, why don't I just start doing puzzle games all the time? And then I also decided, part of my job working as a nurse is educating people. I was like, why don't I start doing like lectures on the human body and anatomy and nursing and medicine?
Yeah.
And that just blew up and took off.
I remember that.
Still doing it.
I remember the
doing it.
clips. The first clips of that was crazy. Oh my god. I was not streaming back in the
Still
days,
lecturing.
but it was amazing.
Yeah, it was an interesting time back then. Like early days of Twitch, of furry Twitch in like 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
It was a very kind of like close knit community, right? A lot of people knew you kind of knew everybody, right? Because there were only so many furry streamers at the time. And then the pandemic hit, and it was like boom! It just exploded, right? People working from home, people staying home all the time, looking for things to keep them occupied. You had all these people who are now needed something to do while they were working from home, and Twitch just blew up. People coming in to watch, new streamers joining, collabs happening with people that I've never heard of before. Like everything just kind of exploded during the pandemic.
That's
and
true.
it really hasn't calmed down since. It's still growing every time. I mean, nowadays I look at furry Twitch and I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. Like it used to be you knew at least knew of all of the furry streamers, and now I mean, there's thousands of them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can't keep track anymore. But I guess the variety's nice. You never know what you're gonna find, right? You never know whose stream you're gonna pop in on.
You can just go and recommend it, and you always find someone really interesting to watch, and like that is doing exactly what you want to watch at the exact moment. So it's great. It's definitely great. The thing that I love about this is that there is more, like in the chat, sometimes you get some people that ask questions about streaming and they're like, oh yeah, how do I stream? How do I start a stream? And then you see them start streaming, and it's amazing to see some new people start streaming and then getting into creation. Like it's so motivating. Also, it's so great.
I mean, it's a very vulnerable thing to do, right? To put yourself out there like that, to stream, to put yourself on the stage, right? And try to present for people. It's very, it's uncomfortable at first, and you feel very vulnerable and exposed when you're up there, right? And you just kind of have to just fuck it, just send it. Right?
Yeah,
You just got to
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
You just got to commit to it and do it. And just that part in your brain that's telling you to freak out, just tell it to shut up. And then you just kind of push through. And usually it works out.
Yeah.
Usually.
Then that's when it becomes addictive, because I know like I love it so much. Like I love doing it so much. It's like, have you seen the movie Soul on Disney Plus, where there's like people
haven't.
vibing
No, I
when they do
haven't.
something? Oh well,
I should though. I haven't seen it yet.
for the people in the chat that watched it, when they vibe, they do something. They kind of like go in another world, like subconscious world, and I think that for a lot of people when they stream, you can see that they are just vibing and they are just doing what they love doing, and it's great. It's great. This crazy we're talking about that perfect transition, because same question as like pursuing the fandom. What would you say to someone that wants to start streaming? Because there is no like how-to on the internet. I mean, there is some with like the softwares, but there is no how-to as like, what should I do? How should I be? What do you recommend to someone that wants to start streaming? Like, they see this stream, they're like, wow, that's great. How do I do it?
All the back end mechanical side, like setting up OBS and face rate, all that stuff aside, because you'll set that up once and then you'll forget everything you learned about how to set it up until something breaks, and then you got to relearn it anyways. You'll get it perfect, and you'll be like, I'm not touching it. It's working. I'm never learning this again until I need to.
It will break itself.
First of all, just like for people who want to start streaming, you got to just do it, right? You got to just kind of grow a set of balls and just kind of throw yourself out there and do it, right? It sucks. It's scary. You're going to be nervous. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. It's fine. Every streamer has had some really awful streams from their first like 3 to 4 months that they wish could never be seen again. Unfortunately, for some people, they do get seen again. But you just accept that your streams are going to suck for a while. They're just going to suck, but you'll get better. Every stream you'll get better. You'll learn something new. You'll realize, oh, this didn't work so well. Oh, that didn't work so well. My biggest piece of advice for streamers, and I don't know if you do this, and I'll be curious to see what your response to this is. Watch your own streams. Go back, watch your stream, consume your content. Like you're not going to know how your stream looks, how it sounds, what looks good, what doesn't look good if you don't go back and watch it. You wouldn't trust a chef who didn't taste his own food.
True.
Why would I watch a streamer who doesn't watch their own streams, right? If you can't enjoy your own content, then why is anyone else going to want to enjoy it?
Exactly.
Go back and watch it. You'll learn so much from watching your streams. Once I started doing it, like you realize, okay, I need to adjust this volume. I need to adjust this thing here. This sounded kind of funky. I didn't like the way that looked, right? Because when you're streaming, you don't really see the final product. You can watch it on OBS while you're streaming, but you don't really, like, you're not really watching your stream.
Yeah.
You're not experiencing it at all, right? Go back and watch your streams. It'll make a huge difference. Get over the fact that your voice sounds cringe. If you want to do this if you want to do streaming, you're gonna have to get used to listening to your voice. Just don't even bring up that bullshit.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to get used to listening to your voice. Get it out of the way now. The sooner you get used to it, the easier everything else becomes.
That's true. Yeah.
That's my biggest piece of advice. Do you watch your own content? Do you watch your own content?
When I became partner last year, I have to say there was a lot of like month where I was like, okay, what do I do next? And I was not doing that. I was like, okay, it's such a big milestone, and I grinded so much for it that I kind of like burnt myself. So I was like still streaming. I was like, wow, what am I doing at that point? You know, I was just doing it because I was doing it. But I would say, so a few months ago, I got to meet Max, another streamer and a great friend that I'm working with a lot recently, and this has been so motivating.
He's a good dog. Max is a good dog.
He's a good dog, extremely good dog. And the thing is that now I actually watch everything. And as a matter of fact, I published the VODs of the Friday Folk Show on YouTube. And last time, I was watching it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to check if everything is fine. And I watched it fully. And just like if like I was just someone watching, I was like, this is crazy, because like I am for the first time creating stuff that I want to watch. And like even if I interviewed the person, I think it was Whiskey's interview, I watched it fully. And then at the same for Monty, same for Aiden last 2 weeks ago. Like it's crazy, and so I do it now. I do it every time. Like if it's not the full stream, I watch bits of the stream because, well, chat sometimes could be more helpful by saying, "Oh yeah, your music is too loud, your voice is too loud, it's too quiet." But it's not their job. Like so, I don't complain. But it's not. It's very. Important to exactly what you say to do it. That's the way you improve. And now, well, every stream I try to make it better than the previous one, and it's thanks to that. Thanks
You
to
learn
watching
so
it.
much.
Yeah, exactly.
You learn so much about your stream and your content and what you want to do as a streamer just by watching your own streams. It makes a huge difference. And like I said, you would not eat at a restaurant from a chef who doesn't taste his food. So
Yeah.
why would I watch your stream if you can't even consume your own content, right?
Gordon Ramsay will not be happy if you don't taste your own food. Yeah,
You gotta taste your own food, man. You gotta taste your own food.
Yeah, that's crazy. As a matter of fact, Aiden, that I interviewed 2 weeks ago, Aiden Fox. I don't know if you know them, but they are crazy. They're amazing. He's a chef, and he cooked for Gordon Ramsay already. I was literally a fanboy when he told that to me. Yeah, I was a fanboy.
That's awesome.
I cried. Anyway, that's out of. We talked about that. I wanted to say that. All right. Yeah, that's definitely a great piece of advice. I would just add something is that if because a lot of people they see the big streamers and they're like, oh yeah, I want to start streaming because I want to be famous. I want to make money. I want to be famous. It's not the vibe. Like, if this is your only reason why you start streaming, you're gonna be heavily disappointed. You're gonna stop really quickly because I would say the main thing is if you have fun doing something, then people watching have fun watching it. And well, if you only expect being famous or making money, whatever, that's gonna be seen in like the content that you put off. And I would not say it's a great thing to do if you just want to stream because of that. Just don't do it. It's for you. Like you're gonna lose time and you're not gonna feel great when you're not gonna see stuff.
Notice.
Yeah.
They will notice.
Yeah.
When you're streaming things that you're not genuinely passionate about, people notice. They will know. It's not hard. It's very, most people have a pretty good bullshit detector, right? And they can sniff that stuff out pretty good, right?
True.
Like if you're streaming something that you're not having fun with, I mean, I've watched streams of people playing games that they are you can just tell they're not enjoying it, but they're doing it because it's what's hot, right? It's what's popular at the moment. And you're just sitting there like, why are you doing this, right? I would much rather watch a streamer with like 15, 20, 30 viewers playing a game that they're super passionate about than watching someone with 100 viewers playing a game that they could give two shits about.
Yeah, true.
Right? I would much rather watch the streamer who's passionate about it because you can feel it and you can tell in the way that they talk about it and how excited they get about it when they're playing it. You just feel that energy. And it does come through. So whatever you decide to do with streaming, just make sure that you're doing it because you enjoy it and that you do something that is genuine to you, something that you enjoy. I stream puzzle games. That is not necessarily the most popular category on Twitch, right? Who likes puzzle games, right? I mean, I love puzzle games. So for me, it is a very I actively enjoy the problem solving, those eureka moments, right? And I enjoy getting to share those moments with chat. And it's fun. I tried being like a variety streamer, right? I tried just playing whatever, and it just came across as flat, uninterested. I just didn't really care. And I started streaming puzzle games, which have always been some of my favorite. And just immediately you can tell my energy towards it changed because I was like, this is something I enjoy. I like this. It's fun. People can realize that I'm having fun. They like seeing me get passionate and excited about it when I solve a puzzle, and it's worked out great. So whatever it is that you enjoy, just full send on it.
Do it.
And ignore the trends, right? You don't have to play Lethal Company because everybody else is playing Lethal Company. If you don't like it, don't play it. You can do everything. You can do other things.
You're right. All right. We're going to end up talking about the streaming by a question. I don't ask that question to everyone, but I think it's still a very interesting question. Also very hard to answer. it'll be like we talk about all the good stuff, and obviously there is way more good stuff than bad stuff when you're a streamer. In the question it says drawback, but I should really change that. It's not really drawbacks, but it's like, is there some experiences that were not the best that you had while streaming that talking about them could help other people so they don't, go with the same stuff that you had to go through? That I should formulate it like that, because my question is, it's really some drawbacks. No, it's not drawbacks. It's more like, what bad experience you got that you can.
I haven't had a whole lot of like memorable bad experiences.
Yeah.
You get some parasocial stuff that happens every so often, right? It's kind of hard to avoid that, regardless. If you're going to put yourself out there on a pedestal, there are going to be people who think they know more about you than they do, right? That's just it's a kind of inevitable. Outside of like, the some of the hate raids or anything like that, I haven't had any like truly negative experiences with either Twitch or the community or anything like that. I think the biggest thing is just if someone is trying to like start shit with you or is trying to antagonize you in some way, just don't respond. You will never be faulted for saying nothing. Just don't say anything. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything. Just don't, whatever tirade you're gonna type out on Twitter, don't fucking do it. Type it out and then delete it. You're never gonna hurt you. You're never. How am I gonna phrase this? It's never gonna be beneficial to engage like that. Like, I think about like when you're playing competitive games online, right? And you can have the enemy chat, right? And you can see what the enemy team is saying. I always turn it off. I always turn it off because it has never led to a positive interaction, being able to talk to the other team, right? Responding to people who are trying to troll you or trying to fuck with you has never resulted in a positive action. It's only a negative. So just don't do it. Just shut up. Just let them go. Yeah. Ignore it. Who cares? Fuck them. Who cares? They're 100%. Buying for your attention. Don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. You don't owe them anything. You don't owe them an explanation. They can make whatever heinous lies they want about you. Just ignore it. Because when you bring attention to it, all that does is make people pile on more. It's the Streisand effect, right? Just don't say anything. Yeah. Just shut up. Just shut up and let it go. Just let it fade on into nothingness. And just ignore it. It's worked for me for four plus years of streaming, or almost 4 years now of streaming. And just ignore it. Who cares?
You're totally right.
Let it sit there and gnaw at you a little bit. You get that pit in your stomach when someone writes something negative about you. Let it be. Let it sit in there. Let it go. Just go work out or go for a run or take a fat shit and just get it all out. Right? Whatever you got to do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, all right.
Whatever you got to do.
That's just funny. Like I usually back in the days when I was streaming in fursuit, and I was getting like a lot of weird comments like, "Oh my god, what is this? Oh, furry, gay, blah blah blah." I was banning everyone. Now I started to like not ban people, but just try to like talk to them. And it's so funny because then people they see that you're just a nice guy. Yes, of course you're doing something that they find weird, but then they start like oh you're not insulting me back. Oh, all right then. And then it's funny because it already happened. Sadly, it never happened on my stream. Like the only time it happened, it was a friend trolling me. So like that I got a hater that became a furry. It was literally a friend trolling me, but I already heard it on other people's stream that they got haters that joined the chat and they like hate, and then they start discovering that the furry fandom is not what they think it is, and then oh my god, you're a furry now. Did it already happen on your chat, Cinder, or? It's like so funny.
Not that I know of. I usually give people 1 or 2 chances, and if they can't come to their senses, I just ban them. I just don't have time for that shit. I don't know them anything. Goodbye. You're not going to behave. You can leave. Like, I ain't got time for that. This is a hobby for me. I don't, as far as I'm concerned, everything I do for streaming is for my own pleasure. So
yeah,
if they're not going to behave, bye. Goodbye. Have fun at someone else's stream, right? Like, I ain't playing around with that. So. But I have seen that. I have seen that tactic. Work quite well. I know Whiskey is very good about trying to engage in a positive way with people who come in and try to start shit. And I have seen it work. And I think he usually gives them like 1 or 2 chances to kind of behave, and then if they don't, then he also just kind of chucks him in the trash, and it's like, well, you tried.
Yeah, but it's so funny because that's exactly Whiskey that talked about it and was like, yeah, I already converted multiple people to being furries, and they started as like hating. It was also Max, when I interviewed Max on the Friday Fuck Show, he joined the fandom by at the beginning watching hate videos of furries and then joined the Discord server, and then it is what it is, you know? Like,
All people,
it's so funny when
Max was
like
a
that.
hater to start of all people.
He was not a hater. No, he's gonna hate me that I said that. But he was not a hater. He just joined the Discord because he watched the video.
He's such a good dog.
Yeah, he is.
Good dog.
The story is that I think he watched a video that was hating, but he was not hating. He just joined the Discord to see, and then he made friends, and then. But it's still a handsome story, and kind of
now here he is. He's
haters.
another fellow flop dog.
Yeah,
Another fellow floppy dog, right?
a fanboy floppy dog. Yeah. Amazing. All right. Thank you so much for answering those questions, Cinder. We are now gonna do something that at the beginning you were like, "Oh no, this clip is gonna follow me forever." We're gonna watch.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
We're gonna watch your most viewed clip.
I stand by it. I'm not embarrassed. I stand by it. The clip itself is a little dated. It's about 4 years old now. But I stand by what I said.
Let's watch
Still
it.
stand by what I said.
Let's talk about it. Let's watch it.
We could not watch it. We could not watch it, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm teasing you. We can watch it. I'm teasing. We can watch it.
I mean, if you don't want to,
I'm not embarrassed.
You can look at here.
I'm not embarrassed.
You can look at this screen here. You don't have to turn around.
Oh yeah, right over here. Yeah, I'm not embarrassed.
When you're in the shower, okay. I have a feeling at least a small percentage of you will try this next time. If you're ever in the shower, right, and you feel the need to fart, what I am suggesting that you do is put your butt cheeks up against the wall, the wet wall, right? It's got to be wet. And kind of spread them a little bit and fart against the wet wall, because the wall plus the water on the wall, it amplifies the sound, and it is loud. It makes it super
It is very loud. I will explain. Okay, I will explain my reasoning here. Okay,
Yeah. God, I think that it's you laughing. Yeah, there we go.
Sometimes. Okay. I already see somebody in the chat says that I gotta try that. Someone in the chat's already said they gotta try it. So you are the type of person I'm talking to, someone who would appreciate this, right? You have to try it. I'm telling you, it's like earth-shatteringly loud. You will feel so powerful that you could make such a noise with nothing but your own flatulence. It is very empowering. I'm telling you, just try it. Just try it. If you have neighbors, they might come ask you what the hell that was, because it's very loud. It works. It works well. You can judge me all you want, but I know you're all gonna go back, and the next time you shower, you're gonna be like, "What was that thing Cinder said about farting on the wall?" And you're gonna try it, and you're not gonna tell anybody because you're gonna be embarrassed about it.
Oh
but I'll
my
know.
God.
I'll know. I'll know that you did it.
But my question is, sorry, I'm rhetoric way. How do you come to the point of talking about it in your stream? Because the clip is just out of context.
not?
It seems like you just started talking about it like, "Hi, yeah, if you fart against the wall, it makes a crazy noise."
Listen,
was that
we
a
were playing
question?
Jump King, okay? No, we were playing Jump King, and it just, when you're sitting there focused on a game like Jump King, that's very just kind of monotonous and kind of the conversation just goes wherever, right? Who knows where the conversation's going to go? And it just so happened that as this commonplace in my chat, the topic of farts came up because I think they're funny.
I love them.
And
as
I wanted
well.
to share this little.
God.
I wanted to
farts.
share.
I mean, that's
I don't
funny.
like them more than a friend. I don't like them more than a friend. Just as a friend, I just think they're funny. I don't like them any more than that.
Same.
Okay. I don't need anybody drawing sexy fart art of my character. I really don't fucking want that.
Yeah, no.
I am pleading with you to not do that. This isn't a bit. Please don't do that.
You should not have said it. You're giving them ideas. You should not have said it.
I felt like sometimes in your life you stumble upon a tidbit of knowledge that you need to share with people, and I just
True.
felt like I needed to share this with people because it's funny, because it's very funny,
Yeah. I only
and
love
it's
farts as
very
fun.
loud.
Like just fun.
It's
Like,
very loud.
when I hear a fart, I'm like, haha, super funny fart. At conventions, I had my big boombox, which is like a speaker, and we put it in the toilets of the convention because it was like a hostel kind of convention. So like the toilets, they're like a big room, and I put like a 10-hour fart compilation in one of the toilets, locked the door. I was
Amazing.
dying. It was the best thing ever. Also, being a
Amazing.
little bit tipsy helps, but I don't know why. At that moment, that was the most funny thing that happened on planet Earth. I was dead. I was literally, I could not breathe anymore. Anyway.
Listen, people can try to take the high road and be like, "Oh, it's potty humor, this, that, and the other." But we all know that when you're in the stall and the person next to you starts ripping ass, you were trying not to laugh. We're all trying not to laugh, but you know it's hard because it's fucking funny to listen to your stallmate
Oh
just
my
absolutely
God.
destroy their toilet. It's funny. It's funny.
It actually happened at the
I'm
same
not going to
convention.
pretend like it's not.
Yeah, and I was literally like, I was pinching my nose. I was literally trying to not laugh. I was dead. Like it. I don't know. I was dead. I was just laughing so much. Anyway, farts. We talked about it. There you go. Nice clip.
It's inevitable when I'm
Yeah.
on a stream. It's going to come up. It's going to come up.
The farts. Oh my God, crazy. Well, guys, if you want some more advices of life like this, I guess watching your stream is like the best way to learn stuff like that.
I got plenty.
Yeah.
I got plenty of
Yeah.
questionably moral advice to give people
Yeah.
on their.
Because you
fart
work in the
techniques, I
medical
guess.
field, so you know a lot about the human
do.
body. So you have a lot of advice to give
There's
people.
a lot to learn.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot to learn about your body. A lot of fun things you can do with it too, like farting on a shower wall to make
What
your
is
farts
another
louder.
thing? Do you have another thing for the furry for sure? Like, do you think about something else?
I mean, you think about people like doing like alcohol enemas, right?
Yeah.
Which I advise you never do that because it will
What is
fuck
it?
you up. Well, okay. Your rectum, right? Your colon, your rectum.
Oh my-
It's very vascular. Okay, it's very vascular, right? The
I get
idea
it
is
now.
that it
I get it
absorbs
now.
it absorbs a lot of water, right? Its job is to absorb liquid, and if you put alcohol in there, the alcohol kind of absorbs very quickly, and
All right.
you'll get a little
Yeah.
fucked up. But don't do it
Yeah.
because it is not a good idea. It's actually an awful idea. Just don't do it. But is that fun? I mean, for some people it might be.
But what is the thing? Is that like you started by talking about it, but were you gonna add something more, or just not do it? Don't do it.
Just don't do it.
All right.
But people will still continue to do it, but also don't do it.
So the thing is that you get fucked up way quicker by doing that.
Yeah, really quickly. It's not good. Don't do it. But
All right, I'll never try.
there's the information. You do with what you
Also,
do
like,
what
yeah.
you want with it.
But if it's like vodka or something, it hurts, right? Because like alcohol that strong is.
I can't speak from personal experience.
All
I
right,
don't know.
all right.
You don't know.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not gonna learn. I don't know. I've seen the end result of it in the emergency department, and it's not good. It's not good.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. I bet like it destroys everything because strong alcohol. Yeah, like of course. Oh my God. All right. Whew. I have my head is a bit wet. It's nice to laugh. All right, thank you for answering that question about your most viewed clip. I hope it's
Did you
gonna
thank
stay.
me about that? I don't know if that
Oh, no, it's
question deserves
amazing.
a thank you. I don't know if that answer
no.
deserves a thank you.
It's absolutely amazing. It's great. I hope this is gonna stay your most viewed clip. Like, it has to. Like this is so funny.
I don't think anything is going to surpass it. It's been
Yeah.
my most viewed clip for 3 years now. So I think I'm destined to have that clip follow me for the rest of my streaming career.
Because if it's not the most viewed clip, that bit of knowledge is gonna be lost. Like people are not gonna know it anymore.
It'll be lost knowledge, and
Yeah.
it's. Let's think about it like this: it's a good time capsule to see that clip and see how far I've come as a streamer.
Yeah.
is a very good time capsule to see that I am still just as cringe, but at least it looks a little bit better.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say you don't talk about stuff like that. No, I think you do. I think you do sometimes.
Still do, just with
Yeah.
a new fresh coat of paint on it.
It's yeah. All right. Thank you, Cinder. All right. We are already soon at the end of the Friday Fuck Show. I have two more questions to ask you, Cinder. And it's going to be the first, because the question, I mean, no, I think I can still say 2023, because if I ask that question for 2024, like the has been only like 5 days, you're not going to
It's been
answer.
5 days.
Yeah, not much experience
only
in
been 5 days.
so far.
A lot has happened in these last 5 days, but it has only been 5 days.
True, but I mean, you're gonna tell me if like it's 2023 or 2024 for you. Those are questions that like open up a bit more at the end of the Friday Folk Show. It's like always nice to remember the good stuff, because like the brain already remember the bad stuff. Nice to try to make our brain work a little bit and remember the good stuff. So the first question is, what is your best memory in 2023 or 2024, but fandom related?
My best memory. Oh my god. See, I
it's a hard
had
question.
studied these questions before we started. I had studied these questions,
Yeah.
and I thought I had answers to most of them, and now here I am getting caught off guard. My best memory, furry fandom memory from 2023.
Or 2024, if
oh
there's something
God.
happened already.
Or
I don't know,
2020, yeah.
in 5 days.
You know, it's hard to think of any specific one, but like
Yeah.
2023 was a really good year because my kind of like core group of friends that I hang out with has
Yeah.
really like solidified. Right, we were kind of coming together at the end of 2022. Like I had, a couple of my friends were in like one group and in another group,
Yeah.
and we've all kind of just like merged into like one solid group throughout all of 2023. I can't think of any one specific moment that kind of like was the catalyst for all of that, but I think throughout 2023, I've kind of developed this really nice like core group of close friends that I haven't had in a while. It's been kind of nice to have, like 5 or 6 people who just are always hanging
Yeah.
out together, and we've gotten really close. So I don't think there's any one specific moment, but just that as a whole throughout the year has
That's
been
wholesome,
very nice
yeah.
to have
That's
this
great.
core group to go to.
That's great. I mean, it's only
So-
going to make the next question even more hard, because it's the same one, but not fandom related. You can just the best memory of 2023. If it's like holidays, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's a good question. It's a really good question.
It's nice to take time
know-
and look at the year and then try to remember the good stuff. Because I know the bad stuff, they stay, but the good stuff, it's nice to remember it sometimes.
There's always good stuff,
Yeah.
And Tux and I have done a lot of stuff. My fiance and I have done a lot of stuff over the last year together, right?
Yeah.
We've traveled a little bit. We actually, this is a really good memory from the start of 2023.
All right.
Tux and I, in March, it was either February or March, we went to a ski resort up in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And we went, they have a ski hill. It's not really a mountain, it's a hill, right? Which is about as good as we're going to get here in the Midwest because we don't have mountains.
Because it's
And
flat.
It's very flat. The ski season was going to end on. We were there from like a Tuesday to Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And the ski season ended the following Monday, so they were like shutting everything down. There wasn't anybody there, so we booked a hotel room. It was very cheap. It's this massive like resort, and there was nobody there. There was like
Oh my
maybe
God.
7 to 10 other people in this huge resort. Like
Oh, that's great.
it was kind of creepy. It kind of felt like The Shining, right? It was kind of very like liminal. But
yeah.
it was really, really cool to walk around this massive hotel resort and it be completely empty. And then to go skiing for only the second time in my life on a hill, right, on the ski hill.
Yeah.
And it was just a really fun like couple days that Tux and I got to spend together in this completely desolate hotel. Had a really nice steak dinner, right? Like got to do all this fun stuff around the town that we were in. That was a lot of fun. And I didn't break any bones skiing. That's a big thing. I didn't break any bones skiing.
That's great. And yeah, skiing is dangerous for that because of all the bones you can break when you ski. All right, that's great. thank you so much for accepting to do the Friday Folk Show with me. I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun talking with you, Cinder.
This was great.
Yeah, it was really
This
nice.
was a lot of fun.
If you have anything to promote, like your stream, something you're working on, even your friends, if you have some friends that you want to promote, you can do it now.
God, throwing me on the spot here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't really promote my stream that much. I don't know. You can come watch me if you want. I stream like once a week, so it's usually like a Tuesday or a Thursday at like 1:00. So you can come watch if you want. If you don't, I don't really care. I'm gonna do it anyways.
That's the
I don't know.
vibe.
You can go. You can watch Zavoto anytime you want. So keep watching this wonderful fox right here.
Oh, thank you so much.
And then obviously all the other members of VFur, go support them as well.
Yeah, true. I love how you pronounce my
I don't
name.
really have anything to promote. I pronounced it right. I remember the
Yeah, you
first time you came into my chat, I pronounced it right.
Amazing. Like, actually, I think that was the best pronunciation that I heard so far. That's great.
I practiced a little bit. I will say I did practice a little bit.
No, I remember. At the beginning of the stream, I said, I mean, I was not streaming, but I said I was gonna ask you a question. I didn't ask you that question. Should I ask it to you now, or? I mean, it's a great question. It's a bit like,
I mean,
out of every subject that we talked about, but I think I want to know. Or maybe we can do it off, but then the chat is going to be like, I want to hear the answer. So do you mind answering the question now, or?
you're just going to have to ask it now.
I have to ask it now. So, Cinder, it have came to my ears because I live in Europe, and well, I have a lot of friends that come to the US. I feel so weird saying that, but I've asked them one question, which is a weird question that you should not ask to someone that you meet, but those people are my friends, so that's why I did that. I was like, yeah, have you got foreskin? And 100% of them said no when they were coming from the US. And since you're in the medical field, I wanted to ask because they don't know. I asked my friend, they're like, I don't know why. It is what it is. But I was like, what did they do with your foreskin? They make Pringles with it?
I don't know what they did with it. I don't know what they did with it. I don't know where it went. Where did it go? I don't know. I was a baby. I don't know. Where the fuck did it go? I don't know. I think I've seen one in person. I will say I have seen one before in person. And it is a very interesting procedure to see done.
Please, do no details.
Someone who
no details.
as someone who has that equipment, it is very interesting to see it done. But I don't know where the fuck they did. I don't know what they did with it. They probably just threw it in the trash, so far as I know.
Yeah. But my question is, why do they do it? Like, why do they do it? Not like what they do with it.
It's a cultural thing. I think it's supposedly it's a cultural thing. It's supposed to be cleaner, right, and more, hygienic. It's all bullshit, is what it is, right? It's all bullshit. It doesn't matter what you do or what you don't do. There are a few reasons why you would need that to be done. There are specific reasons why you would medically need that, but those are the rare cases, and most of the time it's just for aesthetics or for, if dad has it, you want your son to look like you. I guess I don't know.
But is it still something that is done like? Now, or was it something that was done like back in? It's still done now. 100% of the babies.
Yep, still.
All right.
Not 100%. No, not 100%. Not 100%, but a vast majority of them, yes. Although it's starting to fall out of favor now. It's starting to fall out of favor.
Thank you so much, Cinder.
Now I have a question for you.
Oh my god!
I'm curious.
Oh my god!
Don't worry, this is easy. This is an easy one. Okay. I asked this. It's okay. You can relax. I'm not going to ask you anything like that.
I'm fine.
Because you mentioned before stream that you speak English and French. Right?
Yeah.
What language do you dream in? When you go to bed at night and you have dreams, what language do you dream in?
Depends. If I'm at the convention, I dream in English. If I'm with family, I dream in French. Or sometimes a mix.
Dream in both. It's like a mixture. Yeah, like a mixture
sometimes a mix.
Both.
Yeah. I've came to a point.
I love asking that question.
Yeah, I've came to a point in my life where making the switch literally doesn't require any more brain power. Like I would say like it's a bit weird to say it yourself because usually it's other people that judge yourself on that. But I'd say bilingual. Like now I have no problem. And actually, as a matter of fact, when I was back to my parents for Christmas, it was way harder to speak French than it is to speak English. I was speaking to my parents. I was like, "I'm sorry, mom, but this word I don't remember it in French." And in French, I've lived like 18 years in France, and then I've moved to. I mean, no, it's been only 2 years in Germany, but like. I started speaking English in 2018, so I've spent more years speaking only French than speaking English and French. And now that I live in Germany, well, my boyfriend is French, so we speak French, but every day I talk English with everyone. So, yeah, to answer your question, in English if I'm with English people, in a mix of everything when I'm with French people. There you
Have
go.
you ever thought of it before? Because when I ask that question, people are always like, "Oh my god, I never actually never thought about what language I dream in."
Yeah, I actually did. I did because at some point, so I'm the kind of guy that in my brain I have my voice when I think. You know, it's not just blank; it's just I have my voice. And sometimes I talk to myself in English, and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong? Why is it English now?" But I do not even realize it. Like it's just there, and that's how I was like, yeah, the dreams are in English sometimes. But yeah, I would love to like. So, other question for you, but if I had to choose a superpower, it would be to speak every language. That would be my superpower. I would love to do that. But what would it be for you, Cinder? What would be the superpower if you had to choose one?
Superpower?
Yeah.
If I had to choose a superpower, oh my god, teleportation. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be some type of teleportation, right?
Fair.
I can instantaneously go places. The language is a good choice. That's a really good choice too.
Yeah.
But you can learn languages with enough time.
True.
Like you can just learn languages. You can't teleport, at least not yet. So it'd definitely be like teleportation. I wouldn't want to be able to fly because that's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
I don't want super strength because who cares? If you could teleport, you can avoid every situation by just teleporting away.
True.
Like, goodbye.
That's true. That's true. But maybe at some point
I think teleportation
maybe not
would be a good
us, but like future generations, they will kind of have teleportation somehow. Who knows?
It would be interesting to see how they develop that. If it would be like is it going to be like I don't know. We probably won't happen in our lifetime. We'll be lucky if we even make it to that far as a society because we're getting really close to killing ourselves.
Exactly.
So, who knows? We'll see what happens. I'll always have a job thanks to that, but you know.
Yeah, when your job is saving people that kill themselves, then yeah, I guess you always have a job.
I'll always have a job, regardless of what happens. People will always be sick.
Yeah,
I always have employment for that. So
amazing. Well, thank you so much for doing the Friday Funk Show once again. I had a lot of fun talking with you, Cinder.